Rubin says Harry Potter is about the magic of love, acceptance, belonging, the power of courage, the impact of hope. That's true. Arguably, that's true. I mean, I don't read the books. I saw the movies, but I didn't read the books. But sure, you can say that. I believe that observation, right? Trying to take those things away from people is a terrible tragedy. That's true too. Yeah. And then this person says, trans women are women. What are you talking about? What the hell just happened? What just happened? You were doing so good to say Harry Potter's about the magic of love and all these fun little things, and saying that taking that away from people is a terrible tragedy. That's right. That's absolutely true. And then you say trans women are women. Where did that come from? When did JK Rowling say this story of love, acceptance, belonging, and courage, all this other stuff? When did JK Rowling say this story is not for trans folks? What are you talking about? Stop. Anyway, moving on. I'm getting worked up for no reason. Test Fowler, I hope that. Please say something smart, please. Test Fowler, please say something smart. You're gonna get the clown. You're gonna get the clown honk if you say something stupid. Do not read J.K. Rowling's transphobia manifesto. 70% of transgender and non-binary youth reported being the subject of discrimination due to their gender identity. All right. It's clear that we need to do more to support transgender and non-binary people. That is their stance. That is their observation, and I will allow. I will allow them that. That is completely fine. And then this corporation, this group of people, thanks Daniel Radcliffe for their support. So sure, I don't have anything wrong with what they just said. They thanking Daniel Radcliffe for speaking out, and then they're probably some organization that's funneling money into people that they feel to be subject to a lot of violence and other things. Sure, why not? A lot of other groups have these same things. Black people have ours. No thanks, Glamour Magazine. A complete breakdown of the J.K. Rowling transgender comments controversy. Let's check this stuff out. J.K. Rowling, as I said earlier, an esteemed author of the Harry Potter books. She wrote some other stuff too. Who knows what they are? I don't care. But is J.K. Rowling a TERF? Is she a feminist? Is she a bad person? Let's find out. What did J.K. Rowling say exactly? She said, I'm not gonna read all this. She said things. If you want to know if you want to read this article for yourself, go crazy. It is right here, and I will put it in the. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in the comment section, and I will also put it in the description of the video when I create it. This is where it all began. I'm gonna try to get through this because I don't want to make this like a 3-hour stream. There was an article shared a while ago, an opinion piece, where there was a conversation regarding COVID, right? They used a certain verbiage that J.K. Rowling had a problem with. Let's read it. Creating a more equal post-disease world for people who menstruate. It's up here, right? People who menstruate, birth givers, all that other stuff. And J.K. Rowling she made a pass at it. She made a joke. You know what I'm saying? She says, quote unquote, people who menstruate. I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Someone help me out. Woman, whatever, right? She made a joke. And I know I'm not finna be one of those, it's just a joke, bro, guys. I'm not finna do that. She made a hot take, so much controversy that she felt that she needed to explain herself. And I agree that people be granted the ability to defend themselves, to explain themselves. Because this is what I'm gonna say this a lot of times, because there's gonna be a lot of people I cover that more or less been thrown under the bus that are worth defending, right? You can make an argument that what somebody initially said was hurtful. We can't acknowledge that. That is true. The message somebody wants to get out is even more important. So regarding somebody's initial like true feelings about on the matter, that's in question. But they can say whatever they want. They can feel however they want. And if you want to agree or say somebody's lying, hey, that's up to you. That's completely fine. I have no argument against somebody that believes that somebody's lying regarding anything, whatever. You can make that argument if you want to. I won't be able to argue against that. However, the message somebody wants to get out to the public regarding their feelings is what's important, because what's important about people is not necessarily their opinions. And arguably, it depending on how much power that person has, that can't be argued. But for influencers, right? People that are using their platforms to influence opinions and stuff like that, what they're saying or what their stance is, it does matter. But how it progresses also matters. And the message that they want to deliver into the public to essentially influence society matters, right? So I want to leave that point to there right now, right? So her initial statement was a joke, right? And it does give some backing as to how she feels about alternative groups of people on the surface level. You know what I'm saying? But let her explain herself. You know what I'm saying? Because her as an influencer, she understands that, hey, what she says matters, and she doesn't want to use her platform to propagate, to influence others to believe that being hateful towards a group of people is in alignment with what's right. So let's see what she says to expound on her real motives, her true intentions, or I'm sorry, not her true intentions, but how she actually feels regarding this subject matter. JK Rowling says, if sex isn't real, there's no same-sex attraction. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. I know and love trans people, but erasing the concept of sex removes the ability of many to meaningfully discuss their lives. It isn't hate to speak the truth.
Ooh, bars.
That's facts. People should be allowed to discuss. People should be allowed to use identifiers such as sex, what they understand to be as sex, when speaking about other people. Right? If you're gonna call people cisgendered, and I know this is a whataboutism, I apologize. But if you feel comfortable with calling somebody TERFs, if you want to identify people by calling them cisgendered, if you want to identify people as calling them anything outside of what they want to be referred to be as, just for the sake of identifying themselves, you have to open to not be a hypocrite, right? Unless you don't mind being a hypocrite, you're gonna have to be okay with the people identifying you by your sex. Know what I'm saying? So that's what she's saying here. Nothing provocative about what she just said, because it's in alignment with reality. If you take issue with what she just said in this statement right here, it's not her problem. If you have a problem with what she said here, this is the reality.
My pussy aches.
That's the reality here. Your feelings were hurt. And that's not JK Rowling's problem. It's not. Now, the fact that you've amassed a group of people that believe like you, that believe the same things as you, that the fact that you've garnered the attention of corporations like Bud White, I don't drink beer. I don't know. I'm not gonna put a name out there because I don't want to mislabel any corporations. But the fact that you've amassed this much power off of your feelings alone, off of forcing sympathy on other people alone, is remarkable. But it also shows just how screwed up of a society this is. She replies to herself because she got a lot of comments. I'm not going over those comments. The idea that women like me, who've been empathetic to trans people for decades, feeling kinship because they're vulnerable in the same way as women, i.e., to male violence, hate trans people because they think sex is real and have lived consequences is nonsense. Trans violence is not the same as women's violence. Trans people are being attacked for not the same reasons women are being attacked for. That is in essence a conflation. When you say women are being attacked and you add trans women into that conversation, that is a conflation. Because the reasons women are being attacked are not in alignment with the reasons trans women are being attacked. They are two different conversations with two completely different solutions. And feminists are fighting for the advance, and feminists are focused on women's issues. And that's perfectly okay. Because women's issues need they need to be focused on. Trans folks are being attacked also. Trans women, yes. Trans women are being attacked also. Trans people are being attacked also. That's true. That conversation needs to be had amongst trans folk. And people should not be attacked for saying trans folk should not be speaking for women. That's what she's saying here. And again, it's in alignment with reality. And if you have a problem with this reality,
my pussy aches.
that is your problem. You have a problem with your pussy. Hate to break it to you. That is a you problem. Your feelings are hurt. When I heard realities about men and black men specifically,
my pussy aches.
my feelings hurt. It did. But what that also meant was there's work to be done. And in order for me to change the realities of men and black people, I had to address this. I had to address the men that were problematic. Instead of calling to their feelings and their emotions and enabling their laziness, right? And enabling their degeneracy, I want to offer solutions, right? I want to find solutions. I want to get involved. I want to have conversations. I want people to change their minds. I want to shift the Overton window into a place where it's in alignment with the solutions that's in line with the best solutions. Okay. So what else does she say? She replies to herself again by saying, I respect every trans person's right to live any way that feels authentic and comfortable to them. Wow. And this is the person y'all feel is anti-trans. Ain't that something? Transphobic. I'd march with you if you were discriminated against on the basis of being trans.
Isn't that amazing?
At the same time, my life has been shaped by being a biological female. I do not believe it's hateful to say so. Why? Because it's for the reasons I already stated. I'm not going to repeat myself. She's a female and her life was shaped because of that. If you're a trans person, your life was being shaped by being trans. There's a very big difference between being trans and being a female. That's just the reality of the situation. Okay? Here's a quotation from an anonymous letter from a terrified lesbian. I'm not going to go over this letter. It's going to go too long, but JK Rowling pulls this quote out of this letter. The quote goes this: I've never felt as shouted down, ignored, and targeted as a lesbian within our supposed JL. My conservative is showing. My GLBT community. I thought it was LGBT. Let's just continue with the conversation. Our supposed GLBT community, as I have over the past couple of years. This spoke to JK in a specific way. I know it speaks to me in a specific way, but I wonder how this speaks to JK Rowling. And there's a talking piece here, and then there's a fan backlash, right? Andrew James Carter. I don't know who this individual is. Sorry. Since JK Rowling was blocked, Annie replied to this litany of half-truths and transphobic dog whistles. I thought I'd catalog them properly here. JK Rowling, the TERF war, jkrowling.com/answers TERF wars or whatever. He cataloged everything she said into this big talk piece, whatever. Paris Lee's, I don't know who this is. There's just no evidence that me being me is causing problems for any of the other women I've met. Sure, I believe that to be true. If there are ever any problems between women and trans women, they should be dealt with sensitively and sensibly on a case-by-case basis. I will literally say the exact same thing about my people. Whether I define them as or identify them as black or Hebrew or what have you. That's actually true. So my thing is, JK, this has nothing to do with what JK Rowling said. It has little to do with what JK Rowling has said. JK Rowling is stating that there's a difference between trans people and women, right? And the fact that the world is not basing their ideology, and the fact that the world is not aligning that reality or that opinion or that observation with the reality is problematic, you know? And this person is essentially saying that, we need to. She's bringing up some case of, hey, what I do, I essentially should not be lumped into this group of people that have been smeared or whatever. It's like, and like, there's been like, I don't know. It's like this person, this Paris Lee person, is trying to say that J.K. Rowling is, well, based on what I've read so far, at the very least, that they are in any way indicting trans folk. Like, there's no indicting of trans folk in anything that we've read so far. You know, the only outside of the reality that they're forcing their opinions and they're forcing their sensitivities on other people. They're essentially trying to strong arm sympathy, and we should not be operating on that in a society that's supposed to be progressive towards better results for all people. I mean, even today's dominated societies have been doing. It's like people have been using, like, throughout history, right? People have used government to enforce sympathies on other people. They've used their powers for wrongdoing, right? And apparently it's like these people they're trying to do the exact same thing that the past bad people have been doing, right? The past people in power have been doing through the government. They're doing that without even having power. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're forcing their sympathies on other people without even being in control of the government. And people are falling for it, and people are going for it. It's
Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing. Anyway, Harry Potter, Mallory Rubin, somebody else, I don't know if these people are celebrities or not. Mallory Rubin says Harry Potter is about the magic of love, acceptance, belonging, the power of courage, the impact of hope. That's true. Arguably, that's true. I mean, I don't read the books. I saw the movies, but I didn't read the books. But sure, you can say that. I believe that observation, right? Trying to take those things away from people is a terrible tragedy. That's true too. Yeah. And then this person says, trans women are women. What are you talking about? What the hell just happened? What just happened? You were doing so good to say Harry Potter's about the magic of love and all these fun little things, and saying that taking that away from people is a terrible tragedy. That's right. That's absolutely true. And then you say trans women are women. Where did that come from? When did J.K. Rowling say this story of love, acceptance, belonging, and courage, all this other stuff. When did JK Rowling say this story is not for trans folks? What are you talking about? Stop. Anyway, moving on. I'm getting worked up for no reason. Test follower, please say something smart, please. Test follower, please say something smart. You're gonna get the clown. You're gonna get the clown honk if you say something stupid. Do not read J.K. Rowling's transphobia manifesto. I already did it for you. Every line is misinformation, fear-mongering, misgendering others, ignorance, far-right language, dog whistles, and pure hate. Far-right language? Are you kidding me? Can somebody in the comment section anywhere tell me where what she's saying is in alignment with what far-right people are saying? This is centered talking points. This is not far-right talking points. People in the center are saying these things. That is not far-right talking points. Everybody believes this stuff except for the far left. Feel me? So, it's not just ugly. It's just hate. Don't ingest this BS, I beg you. Why not? Is what J.K. Rowling has been saying is in alignment with reality. Get over it. If you have a problem with getting over it, this is your problem.
My pussy aches.
That is your problem. Nobody's problem. It is nobody's problem that your pussy aches besides yourself. Feel me? Moving on. And then we talking about the celebrity and industries and initial response. Okay, so that was just like, okay, my bad. I wasn't paying any freaking attention. Those were the fans' reactions to what J.K. Rowling is saying. What those people say are so irrelevant is crazy. But you know what? Okay, you know what? Let me take that back. I'm gonna take that back. What the fans are saying is indicative of the current climate of the conversation. This is like what the masses are believing. You know what I'm saying? Or at least that shows that there's a group of people, or a collective of people that believe this stuff, right? It goes to show that there is a collection of people, there's a group of people that drank the Kool-Aid. Y'all know what I mean by that. So here's the celebrities. This is the influencers. This is what the influencers are saying regarding J.K. Rowling's tweets. Who is this? The Trevor Project. Who is it? Oh, this is I think the Trevor Project was it was a program that's supposed to help trans folk with their struggles and some. I have to go over it, but this is possibly something that's beneficial for trans folks, and that's respectable. I do have the empathy to understand that trans folk, right, are being attacked for being trans, right? Those instances exist. I'm not going to deny that trans folks are being attacked in America, right? It is. That's just I'm gonna have to deal with that reality. I'm not gonna.
My pussy ache.
I'm not gonna complain about my pussy aching because there's groups of people that are putting their money into programs that's gonna help people that they feel that needs the funding, right? Sure, that's fine. So let's see what the Trevor Project is advocating for. I'm advocating for. Let's see what their quote is. Rather, 70% of transgender and non-binary youth reported being the subject of discrimination due to their gender identity. All right, it's clear that we need to do more to support transgender and non-binary people. That is their stance. That is their observation, and I will allow them that. That is completely fine. And then this corporation, this group of people, thanks Daniel Radcliffe for their support. So sure, I don't have anything wrong with what they just said. They thanking Daniel Radcliffe for speaking out, and then they're probably some organization that's funneling money into people that feel like that they feel to be subject to a lot of violence and other things. Sure, why not? A lot of other groups have these same things. Black people have ours. Emma Watson. Emma Watson was the actor that played Hermione in the movies. Emma Watson says trans people are who they are. Okay. Trans people are who they say they are and deserve to live their lives without being constantly questioned or told they are who they say they are. You say questioned? Okay. It's as I said earlier. If somebody is saying something that is not in alignment with reality, they deserve to be questioned. Because if we let these people say they are what they say they are, and if we let the slippery slope slide into a snowball of nonsense and delusion, that's going to have actual ramifications to society. It's just true. So, Emma Watson, when you say that trans people are whatever they say they are, and that we shouldn't question them on the basis of what they say they are, that makes you a clown, right? It's nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. Moving on. Sorry, Emma Watson. That made absolutely no freaking sense. And you gotta hold that. Emma Watson follows up by saying, I want my trans followers. My trans followers. Remember what I said earlier about grifting? Remember what I said about that? I want my trans followers to know that I and so many other people around the world see you, respect you, and love you for who you are. You can love whoever the frick you want. I have no problem with Emma Watson loving trans folks. And she can love them for whatever reason they want to, right? I don't care about that. What I do care is the tearing down of people that base their observations on reality and actual progression. That's what we should be focused on in a community, or as a culture of people, as a nation, as a world. But if you want to live your life in delusion, that's your prerogative. But I mean, tearing other people down for applying common sense and even advanced talking points and thinking pieces, you probably should just keep yourself out of the conversation and then just love from afar. Love those trans folks that you can't agree with from afar. That's what I mean. That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like they should do. But whatever. Emma Watson, yeah. Fuck, you're a clown. Moving on. Emma Watson follows something. Yeah, she follows that up by saying, "I donate to Mermaids Gender and Mama Cash if you can, and perhaps you'll feel inclined to." Okay, yeah. So she's using her platform to promote like these organizations that's supposed to empower that's supposed to empower trans folks. I don't have any problems with that. They can go crazy. You know what I'm saying? I have nothing to say about that. And she replies to that by saying, putting up pride. Like I said, if you want to use your platform to be nice and show love and support and compassion towards trans folk or any other group of people, that's your prerogative. I don't care. That's completely fine. What did Ron say? Ron said, "I firmly stand with the trans community and echo the sentiments expressed by many of my peers. Trans women are women. Trans men are men. According to Sunday, okay, yeah. We should all be entitled to live with love and without judgment." It depends. It depends. If you're spiteful towards the people that are living their lives in reality and basis of reality, and they question, right, the narratives being spun, they're questioning the narratives being spun around from influential people, then I say allow them their observations, allow them their voice, right? I don't mind anybody speaking their truths, right? But your truth has to be in alignment with reality. Bonnie writes, I don't know who this is. If Harry Potter was a source of love and belonging for you, that love is infinite, there to take without judgment or question. Trans women are women, not according to the definition of women, mind you. I see and love you, Bonnie X. Oh, well, Bonnie, I think that's the quotation. I mean, that's their, whatever. Yeah, so this person said, I don't even know what this is. They said trans women are women, and that makes them moving on. Stephen King. Oh, Stephen King got in on the conversation. What does Stephen King say? Stephen King says, oh, God. Stephen King, in replying to somebody that says, don't be mean to me, says... Somebody says there's somebody that whose name is "Don't Be Mean to Me." Let's just hope they are trolling or something like that. Everybody has their troll names. They say you should address the TERF tweets by telling us constant readers if you believe trans women are women.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh, he said, "Hey, you have fans that are allies to trans folk. What will you say to the people that read your books?" About what JK Rowling has been said about trans folks. Oh, goodness gracious. Mind you, hey, what's up, new folks that joined the stream? Nice to see you. Thanks for sticking around. Please let me know about my audio, because I've been having audio issues for the past couple weeks. That's why you haven't really been seeing me too much. Stephen King says, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Trans women are women. Please keep buying my books. Remember what I said about grifting earlier? This is grifting. This you're trying to keep hold of the power, influence, money, what have you, by way of pandering to people that are whose ideology and observations and sentiments are in alignment with the delusion. Right? You're pandering to those people for clout. Damn, Stephen King. It's down. I mean, me and my guys, me and my boys, we call that down bad. That's what that is. That's broke behavior. Like, a broke dude, you know what I'm saying? A broke man says whatever it is, does whatever it takes in order to appease or to keep the attention of the women who's sponsoring his life. We call those guys down bad in my circle. You know what I'm saying? And this is what this is. He's saying and doing whatever it takes to keep the attention of his readers who are trans. It's pandering. That's not a false equivalence either. Suck my ball. Anyway, LGBT. Okay, so these people create a program to look out for gay rights and stuff like that. As a religious person that believes in God and believes in Jesus, have the empathy to understand that I have the empathy to understand that people are being targeted for having alternative lifestyles, right? And if I were to apply what I understand about the Bible into my everyday life, I understand that people don't need to be getting attacked and all that stuff for just for reasons that's not instructed. How do I word this? Because the Bible doesn't really advocate. Bible doesn't advocate for beating down. What I'm trying to say is the Bible, nowhere in the Bible does it advocate for beating on people because they're gay. You know what I'm saying? That's for God to do. God is the makes these decisions. You know what I'm saying? That's not for us to as a people to come down to attack people maliciously over what they how they live their lives and stuff like that. We have the rights to disagree with what they're saying, which is something that they are trying to they're trying to fight against too. But that's besides the point. Again, I have the empathy to understand that these groups. I have the empathy to not have a problem with these groups being with these groups existing. You know what I'm saying? until they start saying some nonsense. So let's see what they say. So JK Rowling today wrote a thank you tweet to Stephen King after he retweeted one of her tweets. She then deleted it straight after he tweeted a reply to a concerned fan saying trans women are women. Her support for friends is conditional on them being a fellow TERF, it seems. That is their observation. Whatever. I'm not gonna if the observation is based in reality, I have no issue with it. If she deleted a tweet, and if what this is if the motives behind the tweet is true, then sure. I'm not gonna take any issue with that. I've always revered Stephen King, but today my love reached maybe not Annie Wilkes levels, but new heights. It's so much easier for men to ignore women's concerns or to belittle them, but I won't ever forget the man who stood up when they something, whatever. J.K. Rowling also says, Andrea Dworkin wrote, men often react to women's words, speaking and writing as if they were acts of violence. Sometimes men react to women's words with violence, right? Which is, come on, guys, get it together. Stop being women. It isn't It isn't hateful for women. It isn't hateful for women speak about their own experiences, nor do they deserve shaming for doing so. And so this is what Stephen King retweeted and everything. Somebody took issue with what. God dang, this is crazy. This is crazy. These people are really. This is really. This is disheartening, man. So what she said is accurate. What she said, damn, this is really heartbreaking. She's expressing her concern for women's voices, right? And Stephen King is aligning with that. Like, he believes that he co-signs with this because it's looking out for women. I mean, you could probably make a case for he's pandering to women too, right? But when this dude came in and said, hey, this is a TERF, right? He had to assume the position, right? He had to turn up right. When this dude pressed him on the matter. That's some other, I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that because, like I said, what she said here, nothing wrong with it. And then the reason she deleted probably along the lines of what the reasons I specified, that Stephen King looked like he's just trying to pander to people. So she, by her deleting her new levels of affection or appreciation for Stephen King, with her deleting that tweet is indicative of her disposition towards Stephen King, and arguably she believes him to be essentially a grifter. Moving on, man. J.K. Rowling writes, I've ignored fake tweets attributed to me and retweeted widely. I've ignored Prawn tweeted at children on the thread about their art. I've ignored death and grape threats. I'm not going to ignore this. Tristan writes, who had money on J.K. Rowling pivoting to supporting those who call people who take mental health medication lazy? In quotations. When you use quotations, you're saying that this person literally said that. That's what that's supposed to mean. Maybe we should ask this Christian person, how does he use quotations? But how it's supposed to be used is it's supposed to signify that somebody has said something. So the imagery, the communication you're parlaying to your community is J.K. Rowling is calling these people lazy. So let's move on. I take daily medication to function. This sentiment is beyond offensive. It is actively harmful to millions. I don't know why this person is taking medication, but he's pivoting, right? Using his own words there. He's pivoting this conversation JK Rowling is having regarding something. We're going to get to that in a moment. So to his struggles. We don't know what his struggles are. I don't know what his struggles are. Maybe I would argue, hopefully the people that read this from him does the deep dives as to understand what his struggles are. But people that take the medication for his reasons arguably aren't lazy, right? But what J.K. Rowling is talking about is something completely different. So let's see what J.K. Rowling is talking. So I have to set that foundation first, because I feel like this is gonna lead to some this disingenuous and being argued in bad faith. So she says, when you lie about what I believe about mental health, medication, and when you misrepresent the views of a trans woman to whom I feel nothing but admiration and solidarity, you cross line. I want to say this real quick.
Isn't that amazing?
I want to say something else real quick. With trans folks like this, who needs allies? You feel me? If this was a racist person, if we were calling racist people like J.K. Rowling, the world would be a much better place. It would be a much better place today had every racist person been just like J.K. Rowling. You feel me? I'd argue that Black Wall Street would not have been burnt down to the ground. Arguably, the world would be a much better place today had racists 50 years ago had the same mentality J.K. Rowling had. She's using admiration and solidarity. Earlier she said she will march for them on the basis of them being marginalized and taken advantage of because they were trans. It's just that there's some lines to be crossed. There's some lines that were crossed, and she doesn't appreciate those lines being crossed. I talked a lot about Dr. Claude Anderson and what happened to affirmative action. J.K. Rowling is preserving women's rights the way black people have failed at preserving affirmative action. Some dude was trying to pivot. Some dude was trying to say whatever J.K. Rowling made a statement regarding medication and trans folks and their need to use medication to essentially feel the way they want to, become the person that they feel they are inside, and try to make it a deal where people that need medication are essentially lazy, whatever. She never would use the word lazy, and he tried to put that on her. I mean, it's like I said, it's just people like take what, I mean, you see this happen with so many throughout history. People say something that's that can be viewed as a hot take, or that's arguably a hot take, and they essentially straw man their entire conversation and create a completely different narrative around it, and that essentially maligns their stance and makes them appear to be a bad person. It is an act of bad faith. Anyway, many health professionals. Okay. She says, I've written and spoken about my own mental health challenges, which include OCD, depression, and anxiety. Right? These are mental health disorders. I did so recently in my essay, TERF Wars. I've taken antidepressants in the past and they helped me. Right? She said this. So in response to this, she says, many health professionals are concerned that young people struggling with their mental health are being shunted towards hormones and surgery when this may not be in their best interest. Is this what this dude was talking about? J.K. Rowling is reporting on an observation made by reputable people, by decorated scientists and professionals in the field. These people are needed for concepts like peer reviewership and all of that stuff, like the things that essentially make science what it is today. The things that fine tunes past narratives that were possibly inaccurate, right, and needed further evidence and further observations from peers in order to essentially improve on the design, improve on a study. All she did was report on the observation, right? And that people, and since she has the visibility right now, because she was getting a lot of attention from allies of these rainbow code, the LGBT and all that stuff. She had eyes from those folks and the adversaries of those folks, and she's using her platform to bring light and to bring usefulness into this conversation. Okay, so she's replying to something else you said. She says these concerns were explored by the recent BBC documentary about Tavistock Clinic. Whistleblowers were talking about transitions driven by homophobia. Okay. She replies to that by saying, as I've said many times, transition may be the answer for some. For others, it won't. Witness the accounts of detransitioners. The system sees surgery as an easy fix to girls who do not conform. The people that are detransitioners, the people that resent transitioning, those people exist. They were on the fence about it, right? And with people in their ear saying that, yeah, go ahead and do it. Trans women are women. Don't listen to those haters. They jumped the fence. And then once they jumped the fence, they found out just how horrible of a mistake that was for they themselves. And that there possibly was alternative decisions for them. Bruce Jenner, he's a trans woman, right? Bruce Jenner also chose to keep his penis. Bruce Jenner was not pushed to the point of getting rid of his package, right? He wanted it to leave. He wanted to leave some room open to still be able to use his penis. Some guys like having the fact of having their balls in the penis. And then there's people that went even further into transitioning and got rid of their penis. JK Rowling is speaking to the people she's speaking for the people that believe that was not the right course of action for them. Carl Hegan, possibly the whistleblower, professor in evidence-based medicine at Oxford University, has described the off-label use of puberty blockers on under 18s as an unregulated live experiment on children. Exactly. It's like these. I mean, hey, if you're gonna experiment on kids, at least pay them. You know what I'm saying? But these kids, like, they come in with problems, and he wants to essentially, it's like they're science experiments to him. That's what the argument is. J.K. Rowling follows up by saying, none of that may trouble you or disturb your beliefs in your own righteousness. But if so, I can't pretend I care much about your bad opinion of me.
Ooh, bars.
Bro, nobody got time for y'all virtue signaling. Nobody has time. Emma Watson, Daniel Radcliffe, all these other people. Nobody has time for your virtue signaling. And it's J.K. Rowling's prerogative to tell her truth and the truth of other women. And that should be completely fine. It's gotten to the point where, let me see if I can scroll up here real quick. I've never felt as shouted down, ignored, and targeted as a lesbian within our supposed LGBT community. Women are literally being, I'm sorry, I have to be specific. Lesbians are being shouted down and ignored and targeted because they won't date trans women. She is a lesbian who prefers women, biological females, for very specific reasons. Not everybody is prepared to deal with the baggage that comes with aligning or attaching themselves with a trans woman. That's just is what it is. We all heard the narratives of what you bring to the table, right? People also bring baggage to the table. And you choosing to be a trans woman is a baggage, because the current, I mean, you yourself understand the difficulties and the struggles of being trans, especially in alignment with the current socio-economic climate that we're living in right now. There's a large population of people that target trans people maliciously. You know that. Y'all understand that. That's what all these programs are for. That's what they're all highlighting, right? You should also understand that you as a trans person should not want that on your worst enemy. That you should not want that experience on your worst enemy. With that understood, you shouldn't also want your lover to experience that. And if you truly love that person, you should want what's best for them, right? Isn't that what love is supposed to be, right? At the very least, please understand somebody when they express to you that they are not equipped to handle the baggage that you bring to the table, because that's tough.